Hey, what's up, everybody? Well, a number of you have been saying, hey, Michael, go and check out this brand new PS5 ISO image by Viktorious-x. And I thought that since they just released a brand new ISO image 3 hours ago, that I would go ahead and take a look at it and share that with you. Now, if you don't know what this is a modified ISO image for PS5 4.x all the way up to 7.x, and you will implement this by burning this ISO image onto a BD disk and then putting that in a PlayStation 5 that is on one of those exploitable firmwares. Now, there's a lot of advantages to using this over something like Hammer 83, which had the original. Now, with these right here, what makes these a little bit differently is that if we can go over to the release notes here, what this comes with is ETA hen. It can do things like enable and execute jar files. There's UMTX2, basically all of the good stuff that we have had to use other sites for, etc. You can now get those all burned to just an image for a completely offline scenario. Version 1.12 is the latest version that just came out. And for this one, there was a couple of things that I thought that was interesting in here. So one of the features that I was interested in was restored automatic disk closing for firmware versions 4.51 and below. So now you don't have to close the disk manually, and that also added support for automatic ETA hen loading from multiple paths. So it will be checked in the order of the USB drive, as well as this data folder on your PlayStation 5 or on the disk itself. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to go ahead and give this a shot today. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here and go ahead and begin downloading it. And while that is finished downloading, I did want to take just a moment to show you some of the Blu-ray hardware that I'm using to write to this disc. These are the discs that I'm currently using. They're by a company called SmartBuy. They are BDRE, which basically means I can rewrite to these. And well, if I had a fancy printer, then I could print something really cool on this disc right here. But basically, anything that is a BDRE disc is going to be great for working with this because, again, you can always rewrite the new image. Now, with this latest release here, having the ability to automatically, load ETA hen from these sources right here, you may really only need to burn this thing one time and then pretty much only update ETA hen if really your only goal is just playing backups. Now, as far as the burner that I purchased this one. It was an LG Ultra Slim portable Blu-ray writer. Now, I did check, and this one is still currently available in case you do want to check that out. And so, with the hardware in place as well as some disk in place, go ahead and make sure you download the ISO image, and as well as come over here to Image Burn and go ahead and download Image Burn for your operating system. So I am using Windows. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and bring that up. Okay, so inside of Image Burn, once it loads up, it should find your drive, and you will need to select the ISO image as shown right here. Again, just make sure it does say V12 or higher. V12 is the one that just came out a couple of hours ago. Now, for the rest of these options, I pretty much leave these just like they are, and rarely do I ever verify it. Probably that's a good thing to do. But as you can see right here, I've got my BDRE disk in there, and it says disk not empty, and that's okay because I just simply want to overwrite what is on there so I can reuse that disk. So once you hit that button there, it starts spinning up the drive. And this is an external drive of mine, as I showed you a little bit earlier. So it takes it a second to spin up, and we are going to select yes there to overwrite the contents. So from here, it literally just takes a couple of seconds or two once it gets started, and then the image will be written to the disk. Okay, and so at this point, it has completed successfully. So we're just going to go ahead and press OK on that. Okay, so over on the PlayStation 5, what it looks like over here on my machine is that it says PS5 Auto Jailbreak. So we're going to press X on this so we can play it. Okay, and so here is what it looks like. Okay, so let's read through this. So it says select the pipeline runner and click on the first file, load all from disk or disk jar loader, and follow steps 1-3 to run it manually. It does say if you choose one of the USB pipeline runners, check the files on the USB and make sure they're renamed like this with an floater.jar, etahen.bin, and a kstuff.elf. Okay, so underneath the pipeline runner, we have an all-in-one umtx1.pipe, and then there is the normal jailbreak etahen, and this is probably going to be the one that you're going to want because this one comes with etahen. And then there is another one here that has no etahen and another one with no etahen. Now, I am assuming that most of you are looking to run items flow, so you probably are going to want number 2 here. Now, let's look at the PS5 disk jar loader. So this is pretty handy in case you want to just run separate jar files. So maybe you only want to run the floater or run the umtx 2.jar or spin up a web server or etahen, just load that. And then there is an FTP server that you can use as well. Okay, so again, you can use a USB drive or an ELF bin or jar sender. And currently, I don't have anything available for that. But again, you could load those files directly on a USB drive. And then the last option here is remote jar loader in case you want to submit a jar file over the network. Now, I'm a pretty big USB fan, so you probably would hear of me putting those on a USB drive instead of being dependent on some sort of network because I would want a completely offline jailbreak here. So let's go to the second option here, and this is the one we're going to run. Okay, so we will press X on this one, and there it goes. So you can see up at the top, it has the payloads on the disk that it is using, and we can see that it is going through this racing iteration here. Okay, looking a lot better there. Okay, there it goes. Debug settings has been enabled, and now it has started the elf loader. So that will bring us back to the menu. And so from here, we could go back up to settings, and right there you can see PS5 debug has been loaded, and scroll back down through here. And right there is our debug settings, which is awesome because now all of our homebrew will work. So again, things like item flow will be ready to go, and you can do all of this with a Blu-ray disc, which is pretty amazing to me. Anyways, I hope you got something out of this video, and I will see you on the next one. Michael, out.